In this video, I'll show you how to paint 5 Pokemon designs on your nails, including the 4 iconic characters and a classic Pokeball. To start off, I painted each nail a different color. On my pinky, I used a light blue for Squirtle, on my ring finger, I used yellow for Pikachu, green on my middle nail for Bulbasaur, orange on my index for Charmander, and white on my thumb for the Pokeball. After that, I applied a fast-drying top coat. This is going to make painting the characters so much easier later because you'll be able to scratch away any unwanted paint without ruining the base color. To create these designs, I'll be using 3 different brushes: a medium-length liner brush, a full bristled bamboo brush, and a striping brush. I'll also be using a couple different size dotting tools. Starting off with the tiny turtle Squirtle, I'm using black acrylic paint and first mapping out the position of his nose. This will give me a better perspective where to put his other features. Next, I painted in the outline of the eyes and the mouth. Keep in mind these lines do not have to be perfect because I'll be filling them in later with color. To fill in the larger details, I switched to the bamboo brush because it holds more product. And here's where applying a top coat prior comes in handy. Using a wooden stick, I lightly scratched off any bumpy edges or lines I wanted to retry, but this only works if your base color and top coat are completely dry. Lastly, I added white reflection dots to the eyes and finished with little brow lines. Next up, we have Pikachu. Again, I started with the nose to make sure the other features were centered. Then I painted on Pikachu's cheeky little smile using the wooden stick to erase any mistakes. To create the eyes, I used a dotting tool and pulled the paint upwards at an angle to make a slanted oval shape. Now I'm switching back to the bamboo brush to again fill in the details with color. I finished off Pikachu with his electric little cheeks and white reflections in his eyes. Moving on, we have Bulbasaur, the seed Pokemon. Once again, I'm starting with the center features and working out. I also want to mention that I did water down my paint a considerable amount to get the lines thin. If you want to know more about how to work with acrylic paint for nail art, you can check out my Acrylic Paint 101 video. Here I'm just finishing up Bulbasaur by adding little eyebrow lines and darker green spots to his forehead. And for the last character, we have Charmander, the lizard Pokemon. Again, I started with the nostrils. For him, I'm making 2 little dashes. Then I painted on a swoopy curve for the mouth. Next, I sketched in some teeth and then filled them in with white paint. I painted in his eyes using the same techniques as before, first outlining with black, then filling in the shape with color. I finished up Charmander by adding 2 little reflective dots to his eyes and the eyebrow lines. And for my last design, I'm doing a simple Pokeball. Using a piece of tape, I sectioned my nail in half. Then I filled in the top section with a red nail polish. While the polish is still wet, I immediately removed the tape. I let that dry for a little, then I'm using a striping brush to paint a black stripe across the middle of my nail. Then I added a large black dot to the center of the stripe, followed by a smaller white dot. I finished off with a matte top coat on the character nails and a shiny top coat for the Pokeball. If you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know by leaving me a thumbs up and comment down below what's your favorite Pokemon.